You need to go to keycloak.org downloads and then download this server, keycloak server here. You can download this report, and after downloading you need to extract it. So this is the extracted one. It doesn't come with this run keycloak.bat. I have created it myself, and in this you need to do some settings. If you want to use external database, keycloak comes with an embedded H2 database, but we don't want to use that. We want to use a MySQL database. So what you need to do is create a new database in MySQL called keycloak. That's it, and we need to do some configuration here. So yeah, this is the documentation for relational database setup. So what we need to do is first package the JDBC driver. Okay, so we have here, we need to go to modules and then system. First we need to go to our keycloak pack, keycloak folder, and then go to modules, then go to system, then go to layers, and then go to keycloak again, and then go to com. And here you need to create a MySQL folder. There will not be a MySQL folder, so you need to create a MySQL folder here. In the MySQL folder, you need to create another folder called main folder, and in this main folder, you need to paste your MySQL jar connector Java jar. Okay, note that it should be 8.0.22 jar. If it is a higher version one, then Keycloak might give you some errors. So be sure to download this jar only 8.0.22 jar. Okay. Okay, now after pasting this MySQL connector Java jar, you need to create a module.xml file, and yeah, you should create this file because there's no file default file created in Keycloak. So after creating this file, you can edit it, and you need to add some XML configuration here. Note that the name should be com.mysql because you have added this what in this com mysql folder you have your MySQL connector jar, and then the resource root path should be your MySQL connector Java name, the file jar file name, and that's it. Everything will this is the configuration for module.xml file. Okay, and click on then save it, and yeah, you need to save it, and that's it. This is the configuration for MySQL jar, and then we need to declare and load this JDBC driver. This is our next configuration. What we need to go is we need to go to standalone configuration. We need to go to the standalone folder. Okay, let's go to keycloak again, and here is our standalone folder, and in this standalone folder we have configuration folder, and in this configuration folder we need to edit this standalone XML. Okay, so I'm editing this standalone XML. Let me open it with Sublime Text. So this is our standalone XML. Now here we need to edit some things. First of all, we need to add JDBC driver because we have H2 database drivers already configured here. We need to add configuration for MySQL drivers. So let's just find the data source configuration. Okay, here is our data source configuration. Now let's find drivers configuration, not data source. Okay, yeah, here is our drivers configuration. So we have we have H2 database driver already written here, so we need to add the driver for our MySQL. So the name should be MySQL, and the module should be com.mysql, and the data source class should be com.mysql.cj.jdbc MySQL exit data source. So this is our driver class configuration, driver concept configuration. Okay. And then after that, just leave this H2 database as it is. It doesn't matter even if you remove it. Now we need to do declare our JDBC driver, and we declare our JDBC driver. Yeah, we have already declared our JDBC. Now we need to modify keycloak data source, and we have keycloak data source just above the drivers configuration, and here we need to comment out the data source for H2 database. Okay, we have two database already configured here. One is H2 database, and the other one is for example DS. Okay, so just leave this first one configurations as it is. Don't touch it, and you need to comment out this second data source configuration, and then you need to add this data source configuration which is for our MySQL database. So JNDI name is data source keycloak DS as it is, and it should be full name should be keycloak DS, and it should be enabled equals true. Use Java context true, and connection URL should be JDBC MySQL localhost. This is your where your MySQL database is accessible, and since your database name is keycloak, you need to add a keycloak auto connect, and you need, if there is and, then you should add and AMP also, and after and AMP you need to add semicolon, so otherwise it will give you errors. Use SSL, use false. And for maximum pool size you need to add at least 20, because if load increases, then there will already be some pools of connections to be used. Okay, so that's it for the data source configuration of your MySQL driver, and then after that we need to configure our database. So this configuration, just leave it as default. You need not touch this configuration. So that's it for your database configuration. Now your keycloak will use MySQL instead of H2 database, but you should know that you need to have MySQL server installed in your system for doing all these changes, and click on save. Now after doing this, you need to go to keycloak folder and then create a bat file like this, and you can name it anything, and just add some commands to this bat file like cd keycloak 15.0.2 and then bin, and then add this command standalone dj boss. Okay, by giving port offset. See, by giving port offset, your keycloak server will be hosted on 80 to 80. If you put offset as 100, then it will, your keycloak server will be hosted on 8180. So just put offset whichever is preferable to you. Now let me run this bat file. Yeah, now it shows that admin console is listening on localhost. Sometimes this command gets stuck, so you need to just press enter. Okay, if there is some problem like that, until and unless you get this admin console listening on HTTP 127. No. Now you need to go to this URL. It is for the localhost. We added offset as 200, so we need to go to 80 to 80. So this is our keycloak main page, and then we need to go to administration console. When you start this application for the first time, here you will have a form at this place asking you name, username and password, and if you click on submit, you can access the administration console from here by clicking on administration console. So I will enter the username and password, and this is our console for. Okay, the first thing you need to do now is create a RAM. So for creating a RAM, you need to click on add RAM, and then you need to give some RAM name to the RAM. Okay, so I have already created some Spring Keycloak POC RAM. So I will go to this RAM. You need not touch any settings here. No, don't touch login settings, key settings, email settings. These are some settings. You need not touch these settings. Okay, the RAM, just create a RAM, that's it. And then after that, you need to create clients. Clients are nothing but your APIs or microservices. So I have created two APIs here. The first API, let me show you. So you just need to go to clients and click on create, and just give some name, and that's it. Click on save. So I have created API 1 and API 2. Let me show you how API 1 looks. So this is our API 1, client ID is API 1. Remember that client ID is API 1, okay. And then you need to remember some things, yeah. In the valid redirect URLs, you need to add the URL for which your microservice is on which your microservice is running or API is running. Spring Boot microservice is running. Okay. See, my API 1 Spring Boot microservice is running on localhost 80. So I have put this URL here, and then I have added it asterisk. Okay. Then click on save, and then after that keys, nothing here, and here in the rows, yeah, nothing here. Client scopes, nothing. Let me show you client scope here, nothing. In the mapper, yeah, in the mapper you need to add, just add, click on add built-in and search for roles. Okay. So you need to add rows here, just add whatever rows there are. So we should wait. In the mappers I've added for API 1 I've added the RAM rows, and in the RAM rows you need to add this token claim name. Okay, this token claim name should be added for all role mappers. Okay, so remember this token claim name, and everything can be same. Click on save, code maps, scope, revocation, sessions, offline access, installation. I'll talk about installation of course. And similarly, there's a setting for API 2, and here we have mappers. In API 2 we have valid redirect URLs as 8081. Since our second API or second microservice is going to run on 8081, we have given it as 8081. If I'm running it on 80, 83, 85, then I will keep it as 83, 85, etc. So in the role mappers, you need to add RAM roles, client roles, yeah, just like just I have explained in the API set. Yeah, in the token claim, again this is important in all roles mappers. The token claims should be like this, otherwise you will not be able to authorize role. You will not be able to configure Spring for role-based authorization. Now this is about client creation, and after that you need to go for roles. In the roles, I have created these three are default roles: offline access, UMA authorization. These three came by default. I have created manually the moderator role and then the user role. Okay. For creating roles, you just need to click on add role and just give a name like moderator or user or admin. That's it. Nothing else here. And then after that there is another settings. We don't have these settings. Here we need to add users now. See, I have added two users. One is M user and one is U user. Okay, let me show you how is user. Yeah, let me show you. Okay, now click on add user. Let me add a user UU, and then click on save. Okay, now let me show you how many users we have. We have three users now. UU user. Now click on edit, and after that click on role mappings. So our UU user has a role of user, not a moderator. So click on moderator and select it. Yeah, now our user UU has a role of user. Okay. Similarly, you can create moderators. Yeah, and one more thing, you need to add credentials here. Credentials, let me add you password, and turn this temporarily off. Okay, turn this off and set password. So this is how you create a user. You give a user a name, and then you add credentials, its password, and then you do role mapping. That is what you use. How you create a user. That's it. This is the setup of your Keycloak server. Now all this data is saved in your MySQL workbench. Keycloak will create all the tables, but you need to have a Keycloak database in your already created Keycloak database in your MySQL. But don't worry about the tables. Tables will be created automatically by Keycloak because it uses Hibernate. Now let me show you the configuration for clients. Clients are nothing but APIs, as I said already. Now we need to go to clients and click on API 1 or whichever API you have created. Click on installation, click on select format, and click on JSON. Okay. So this is this is our configuration for our that we need to put in our Spring application properties. Okay. Okay. Now to use